Hey guys and gals, it's 3:13 p.m. here on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14th, 2015. Just a quick video here touching upon how my swing trade strategy delivered a 20% profit, $3,500 for me, overnight, Thursday into Friday. Now, you can go through the blog post and look at, the watch list notes and the portfolio analysis, but I like to jump on the video real quick and kind of point out, why this is happening and how you can profit from it in the future. So Molycorp is a rare earth elements company, and if you're not familiar with that, a lot of those are in electronics, your iPhone, for example. So it's a really important company. Long time ago, rare earth elements were priced significantly higher, much like oil, I guess you could say, right? Right now, oil has really fallen. So when these prices for rare earth elements went down, Molycorp kind of fell on hard times. Their mining company is struggling, but you still need these rare earth elements. And so this company is fighting hard to kind of cut costs and turn things around. Well, long story short, you can see this downtrend here, and it's priced for bankruptcy, all right? And it really looked like it was going to go that way. And the stock had really fallen upon hard times, and this used to trade closer to $100 and very actively. And then you had this earnings call in through here, and you can see the massive jump in volume. And so this is improved guidance for the company. And now what you have is a game changer. So the stock goes from, a downtrend that looks like it's being priced for bankruptcy to, okay, maybe they're going to prevent bankruptcy. And so you have this oversold condition, which happens to be the number one scan that I look for, and it comes out of that oversold condition. It's video lesson number 1 on my website. So when you sign up, take a look at that. All right, everything starts right there, and this is how it started for Molycorp. It kind of came out of oversold, so it moves from the low 30s up to the high 40s on that news. All right, heavy volume, and then the next day it continues up, and then the next day it continues up again until it runs into some resistance in through here. So let me grab a trend line. You can see this resistance right around $1. All right. See how it pulls back from that $1 range? So you have this big 3-day rally, bing, bang, boom, and then it sells off. And it starts to work what I call a continuation pattern. So when a stock is oversold, there's a ton of sellers, and that is probably not difficult to see based on that trend. Once it gets into an oversold condition, we want to watch for these game-changing events, and that's kind of what happened here. Now, this was on the watch list on this particular day. So if you bought it off the watch list in through here, you did very well on that move. I didn't, so I can't claim credit for it, but I did have it on the watch list. I explained why I thought it was a good trade, and it moved significantly across the next 2 days. Now, when it made a higher low, I said to myself, I am not going to miss this opportunity again. And if you look at some of the testimonials in this blog post, you'll see that one of the clients reported having a position at 77 cents because I was scouting and stalking in the daily watch list that I send my clients. I was stalking for an entry in through here. Now, I didn't get it in the 70s, and I wish I would have. I didn't even get it in the low 80s. I wish I would have. But when it started to show me that the trend and the volume was building, I decided to make a move at 86 cents on Thursday. Now, that move right there on Friday put $3,500 in my pocket. And I don't know how much money that is to you, but to me, it's a lot. All right. I used to be a public schools teacher. That's about what I made in a month. I did this on one simple trade. I put about 17,000 in and took about 21,000 out. That's just textbook swing trading. Remember, swing trading is where you put your money in the market and you try and get it back out in 1 to 4 days with a profit. And so when you can get 20% by holding for less than a day, you've done a fantastic job. All right, so why did I sell the stock? Well, one of the things that I thought would be difficult for this one to do is get through $1.20, and that's because you had some technical resistance on the chart. And if this looks foreign to you in any way whatsoever, it's very easy to learn, and I have the video lessons on the website to kind of help you get there. And once you start to see companies in this view, you realize that you can profit from them quite regularly. I just did a video on the website, and I was talking about how in the last 4 years, swing trading only, I've made nearly as much as I made in 10 years of teaching in New York State public schools. Just think about that. I'm trading part-time. I only made 2 or 3 trades last week, and one of them, none of them were losers, and one of them put $3,500 in my pocket. I made close to $5,000 last week. I'm not getting rich, but it has certainly changed my lifestyle, and it certainly has changed my life. And my goal is to do one thing: teach this to you. Make this so you can understand it. And if I can really just rewind the whole trade, the event, all right, here changes the pattern for the foreseeable future. And then what we do is we apply my lessons number 1, 2, and 3. That's it. I have 50 video lessons on my website, but number 1, 2, and 3 explain the trades that I send to my clients in real time by email and text message. Yes, we have a chat room too with 500 people in there. Yes, they're day trading and swing trading, and there's so much more going on in this service other than this. But this is the core strategy of Jasonbondpicks. This is what I need you to start with. And if you want to be a part-time trader like me, this is how we do it. So you have the event change. You take a look at video lesson number 1. Okay, the stock was oversold, and for a good reason. But something has changed. Now it is in play for a continuation pattern. Well, how do we figure out where to buy it in a continuation pattern? All a continuation pattern is, and it can happen in a downward trend, and it can happen in an upward trend. All right. All a continuation pattern is a continuation of the trend. So we break it down into, okay, it's oversold. Now we have an event change. This is a really nice move. You could call it a breakout from the downtrend. And now the continuation pattern is an uptrend. So where do we buy it on the next move? Let's say we miss this move, like I did. Where do we buy it on the next move? Well, one client bought at 77 cents. Again, as you can see in the testimonial, I bought at 86. And there are a number of reasons for doing that. Wherever you get it, it really doesn't matter so long as you have a stop loss in mind and a profit goal in mind. There's no guessing games here. I like to talk about using conditional orders, all right? One cancels the other. You either hit your stop loss or you hit your profit goal. You're not riding these day by day saying, well, I think I'll hold it until tomorrow and see what happens. You have your goal in mind, and if it hits it, you take it, whether it's down or up, and in this case it was up. So I sold it because of that technical resistance. There was a channel in here, and it went as high as 108, and it continued to climb after I sold it at 103 for 20%, $3,500. It continued to climb. That's okay. I don't get upset about missing another $1,000 worth of profit. Would I like it? Sure, come on. But we don't try and do that. We just try and do this consistently. So for getting in on the continuation pattern, you can apply a video lesson I have on the website, which is the Fibonacci retracement lesson. And the bottom line is this: the company's previous close prior to the news changing event was down and through here, and you can run that Fibonacci retracement to the top of the primary move. So the stock closes down and through here, and it's continuing with that downtrend on that particular day. Whoops, we have a news changing event. Now everything has changed. All right, everything has changed. So bang, bang, boom. Now where do we buy it? We buy it somewhere around this 50% retracement line. That is support. All right, and then you play that next move up, and that's exactly what we did. And as it was building and the volume was building, it was getting quite obvious that a break above 1 is coming. And read my notes. It was in the watch list, and it was in the assessment, because once I get into a trade, I provide you with notes day to day about what I think is happening in that trade and what we're going to do, so you feel very informed about your trade. I'm assuming you're busy and you're looking to me for what's happening in the market and what's happening in the trades that we're in. And that's exactly what I do daily. So somewhere in through here is a really good entry, or for the breakout in through here above 1. And that's how I swing trade. For me, I love to get in when it's moving fast because I can get out then due to the volatility fast. And you have to think of it this way. The less time your money is in the market, the less exposed you are. So I'm not a day trader, but if I can get my money in on Thursday, out on Friday, and make $3,500, I'm going into Valentine's Day with my wife a lot happier. All right. So once I locked this one up on Friday, I was done. Now I want to show you the 5-minute, 5-day chart like I did in the blog post. So this is the last 5 days, and now you can kind of see the continuation pattern broken down into a smaller time frame. And this one was bought and alerted. Let me get that trend line back so I can use it as a pointer. This was bought and alerted right in through there. You had this really good consolidation in the 84 to 87 range, and then it pulls back, and when it breaks above that, that now becomes support. So this right in through here was a nice little pennant, but then it sold off into the close here. On Thursday, it rallied above that level. That right then, when it came back in, is a signal to buy somewhere in through here. And that's exactly what we did. Now, these are 5-minute candlesticks, and they're kind of crunched, but this was probably a good 30 minutes worth of price action in through here. So you could have picked up some shares somewhere in through here, anywhere in through here, just below 90. And then the next day, here is where I sold. All right, just a couple of minutes into the open, around 9:45, I sold my shares for 3,500, got the alert out, comes into about, well, it actually goes higher up to 105, so I sold at 103, it goes to 105, comes into 102, and then rallies all the way up to 108. So like I said, am I upset that I left a nickel? What was an additional $1,000 on the table, selling it anywhere in through here at 108? No, I'm not. That's just not how it works. You just have to pick, your area and take it and then go find the next trade. I do this every single week. I've been doing it now for 4 years this March 2015, and I've made nearly $400,000 doing this part-time while teaching it to other people and building my community. We have a wonderful day trader in the chat room by the name of Luke, and he's constantly day trading small caps. So if that's your thing, you could jump in chat. There's 500 plus people in there daily. It's a great environment for trading. So there's so many other things in addition to my swing trades taking place in this service, daily watch list, video lessons, things like this. I hope that you'll give it a shot. This one win here on a relatively small investment would have paid for 35 months of my service, right? You figure it's $297 a quarter, and I made about $5,000 this week, and $3,500 of it came on this trade alone. So check out Jasonbondpicks. I suppose this video is longer than 3 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm long-winded. At least that's what my wife says. But I love what I do, all right? And I hope that comes across in everything that I do. Email me if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them, and I hope you'll consider joining us. We're going to hit more of these, and I hope that you're one of the many testimonials that I get every single day. Take it easy, my friends. I hope you have a great Valentine's Day today, and market is closed on Monday, so get yourself signed up and get ready for Tuesday's session. You should be able to watch video lesson 1, 2, and 3 by the time Tuesday comes around, and just by doing that, you should be able to participate in my service. So that's kind of my thoughts for now, and that's the Molly Corp trade. It was a good one, and we're going to get another. Have a wonderful day.